EPIC Lesson 2, Tai Chi Fluency. This is a fun one. I think you'll enjoy this. Several MT4s in this that you will find immediately useful. And another week of good, consistent practice, you'll begin to see some progress already, guaranteed. All right. Notice it's Tai Chi Finger Flow Fluency 1. A finger flow because this is the technique. You can see it here. Just hands sort of circle clockwise, like you're circling a softball, about that size, something like that. Fingers are very relaxed, and it's fluency number 1. So in the EPIC system, there are 2 lessons that deal with fluency. This one, lesson 2, and I think the other one is lesson 8 or 9. Can't remember right offhand. Come back to just focus on fluency. Like I said in my comments in lesson 1, the butterfly and the Tai Chi fluency MT4s are sort of the foundation of the EPIC system, and you'll see we'll be using both of those MT4s throughout the course. So if you got last week of the butterfly and you got the Tai Chi, you basically have a good basis on which to make this all work for you. All right. Again, it's a little bit shorter lesson. As always, there will be a link to the training video on the blog page. This is the blog page we're looking at. There'll be a link to that. There it is right there. There'll be a link to the feedback session. That's the Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And also, there will be, after the feedback session, there will be a recording. The recording will be also on the blog page. So if you can't figure out where I'm at here, sometime go to the blog, the EAPIC blog, and it's all there. The blog page will give you has all the links in it, along with the blog post that I send out after the recording itself, and also after the feedback session on Wednesday. Okay, objectives, basic rhythm and fluency. Yeah, last week we were working on basically syllables and kind of a very basic rhythm as well, but combination of stressed and unstressed syllables as forming the stuff of rhythm and fluency, smooth movement. As I mentioned also in the, may have been, I think it was in the feedback discussion. If you haven't listened to that yet, one of my comments was I talked about the Tai Chi, but I'd gotten the idea when we were in Japan of looking out my upstairs window all over a park, and there would be many times dozens of what they called silver members, mature students, who were out in the park doing Tai Chi together. In fact, today my wife Susie just got back from her Tai Chi lesson about 2 hours ago. So I'm a big fan of Tai Chi, not just for working with your pronunciation of your body and whole, but overall, just a tremendously healthy habit to get into. Okay. As usual, each lesson will be a couple of hacks. This time, again, a hack is just basically a pronunciation technique, a traditional one in some ways. Things that you work on at home, but you don't use in conversation. Got a couple of those there. Tai Chi, there's a rise fall where your voice goes up and down, and a fall rise where your voice goes down and up, something like that. All right. For a warm up, now I would recommend that you go back and right now, go back and do very quickly, do the warm up from lesson 1. Remember that one? Do that one, and then do this one. This one is just for the lips. It's also to introduce to you what will come up in a couple lessons, and as we begin working with the vowels of English. This one's just kind of a fun one, but the idea is that using your hands and your lips just to practice your just stretching your lips and activating your lips for the work we'll be doing. So we begin with, you see you've got over on your the left side, you've got some bunch of circles. And it goes like this, real tight circle, ooh, and then you open it up a little bit, and then oh, right? And then aw, and then and then ah. Do it again. Ooh, oh, ah. So those are going down your left side. Now down your right side, you've got e, I. What is this? Basically, it's a combination of your lips and your jaw, right? E, I. Jaw drops just a teeny bit. E, I, a, ah. Notice you got two of those down here, right? So ah can be done with your right hand or your left hand. Ah, like that. Just do that again. Do those with me. Start over on your left side. So ooh, oh, ah. Other side. E, I, a, ah. So those go. So we place those vowels. Some of those vowels are using the lips and rounding. They're kind of in the back of the mouth, and the other ones are kind of bright, like right here. E, like on your teeth. These are more like in your teeth. The other ones are a little bit further back in your mouth. That's why it's listed like that. Also, if you've studied pronunciation, which I guess most of you have, that's kind of like those charts that you see in pronunciation books. That's kind of what that's about. Okay, there's also in English, again, if you've taken pronunciation, you know this already, but here's the haptic version of it. You've got three sounds, I, ow, and oi. Those are sometimes called diphthongs, whatever. Diphthongs means just two sounds. Right? So same thing, we can just do a few of those. We'll do ah, using with your left hand, ah. Then your hand slides across and goes up to E. I. Okay. Next one is ah again, but now go to the other side. Using your left hand. So, ah. Excuse me, right hand. So ow. You see how that works in your mouth, like the ah sound up to oo up here. Ow. The last one is aw. We got one that's like in the word boy, right? The same idea. You got oi. And later on, when we do the vowel lessons and that sort of thing, we'll be using those lip movements, lip gestures, help you get that better. And before we finish that, there's in a haptic system, you have four other kind of a variation of some vowels in English. We got this one. See that E? There's two E's. Notice it kind of narrows down. So it's like this. E. So you got E really tight, and your jaw comes up even further. E. Then notice the next one is A. A is over here. A. Same thing. A. Right? Then you go back on the other side. You have the same kind of thing over here. Really tight ooh, and that gets even tighter. So it gets ooh. Then you got O, and O goes down to ooh. So it's O. Okay? So practice those a bit. And again, when you do that, the idea is to stretch your lips as much as possible. All righty. Now again, Tai Chi, finger flow fluency, both hands moving at clockwise circles. So again, about the size of a softball. Okay. Fingertips touch lightly on the most stressed syllable. Very just kind of see like that. So just kind of flow across them like that. Keep your hands as relaxed as possible. Arms, hands, fingers, and whole body as relaxed as possible, especially the whole body. Okay, now the hacks, the rise, fall, and the fall, rise tone hacks, they use bigger circles in energy. And I'll show you kind of how to do that. They use a soccer ball, size circles. So circles get bigger when you do those two hacks, and I'll show you those in a minute. All right, now here's the Tai Chi finger flow fluency training as usual. Always in the lesson, do the training first, then we'll do the embodied oral reading. Okay, so let's start. and we're out of here. So fingers touch on the X's. Notice these are the same words that we used last week for the syllable butterfly. Very same. In fact, we'll use them maybe 2 more times, using the same words for training, just a different gesture that goes along with them. So let me see if I can get them all on the screen here. Yeah, we can. Okay. So this one's very easy. But the main thing here is just to try and practice it so that you get a nice softball-sized circles like that. Yeah. Right. Move this down a bit so you can see me a little bit better. If you're wondering what I'm wearing is a jersey from the Denver Broncos. It's the one, or not exactly the one, but the number of the one originally worn by my wife's favorite professional football player, Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. Okay, that's what it's right. All right, so I'll just go through these quickly. This should be able to do this easy. So nice, nice. That's nice. That's nice. Very nice. Very nice. That's very nice. That's very nice. Look right in front of you. Make sure that you're getting that. Imagine you're just got 2 softballs. Right? You're just trying to go around those 2 softballs. Okay. Now, easy, easy. That's easy. Very easy. That's very easy. Beautiful. That's beautiful. Very beautiful. That's very beautiful. That's very beautiful. So I did that 1 time instead of 2 times. Then finally, fascinating. 2 times each. Fascinating. Fascinating. That's fascinating. Very fascinating. That's very fascinating. That's very fascinating. Anyway, you get the idea. So main thing is to try and keep both your hands, arms, and upper body, especially upper body, as relaxed as possible. That's why if you're seated, I'm seated again on this like a ball, a bouncing thing. And you want to set up as upright as you can, but still try to keep your upper body as relaxed as possible as you're doing this exercise. Here are the hacks, 2 hacks. Again, soccer ball size circles with both hands. And the meaning of the hack is enthusiasm or excitement and more voice energy. How interesting. How interesting. I love you. Come in. Sit down. Let's go to dinner. Wow. Oh. Okay. Soccer ball size circles with both of them as you're doing. Ball rise. Right hand continues upward a little. I'll show some works in just a minute here. Right. And the left hand continues down. Right. So it'll be something like that, right? So they touch, but then the right hand continues up a bit. Yeah, right. So, for example, are you coming with us? Are you coming with us? So a bigger circle over here with your left hand. Are you coming with us? Are you coming with us? So it pushes down a bit. Are you coming with us? Are you coming with us? Something like that. Again, it's a question, but a question with a little more surprise, maybe a little more energy, something like that. All right. So here's we'll just practice both of those a bit with using the same keywords, just a few of them, not all of them. You got the idea, I'm sure. So like nice would be nice, nice. That's nice. Very nice. That's very nice. That's very nice. It's almost like nice. See how that? It's almost your voice keeps going almost over the top of the circle. That's very nice. You want to be able to hear going up and going down. That's very nice. That's very nice. And so on. I'm not going to do the rest of that. Practice that. Oh, then let's do the fall rise. So the same thing. That's very nice. That's very nice. That's nice. Very nice. That's very nice. That's very nice. See that too. With that one, you can see with my upper body is moving a bit forward on it. There's more energy into it. So let's do easy. Easy. That's easy. Very easy. That's very easy. Your hands, see how your hands end up. Right hand up here, left hand down here is where it ends. So it goes around and then ends up here like that. Whereas in the other one, in the fall, in rise fall, it's a, oh, interesting. That's very nice. That's very nice. Full size. Got that? Okay. Practice those. And again, practice them so you feel really comfortable doing them. And so you, this is a good one. I would even recommend to do in front of a mirror, just to see how consistent you are being with the movement shapes. The idea is that for body fluency, the body wants a regular rhythm, right? So that your body's moving in a track. And then once you get the body going, the body keeps going automatically while you're speaking. It helps you control your speech and practice your lesson, something like that. Okay. Oh, forgot to mention something. It says, or if you are a Canadian who sometimes uses a fall rise at the end of a sentence. Again, we lived in, as it says down here, we lived in Canada for 20 years and love a Canadian accent. So for example, a Canadian might, nice day, eh? Nice day, eh? Or they might do, nice day, eh? With that A on the end. Maybe you've heard that on TV or people, some Canadians do tend to use that expressions. Not all the time, but in very specific contexts, that sort of thing. So same thing, that's using a fall rise. A. Okay, let's go with the embodied all reading as usual. This is kind of a fun one. This one is ducks on a plane. And this uses the Tai Chi plus the rise, fall, and fall, rise, which we just went through. So the mood is very enthusiastic on a very noisy subway where you have to speak loudly. So it says ducks on a plane is actually ducks in a cage, and they have to put the cage up on a shelf above the seats. Okay. So first what we'll do, as usual, we will do just the MT4s without the hacks. You always do it twice, right? So you do it. Excuse me, could you put my duck in the overhead? Do that again. Excuse me, could you put my duck in the overhead? Now make that that was just normal, kind of normal Tai Chi. Now do the Tai Chi with a rise fall. Rise fall, and then fall rise. So it'd be, excuse me, could you put my duck in the overhead? In the overhead? Excuse me, could you put my duck in the overhead? So you could do it that way. That's using that fall rise. Or you could use a simple rise like we did in lesson 1. So it'd be, excuse me, could you put a duck in the overhead? The overhead? Overhead, overhead. Notice with that one, with that rise, it goes overhead and the hand comes back down. So only with a fall rise in the overhead stays up, but in a rise in the overhead it goes up, but your hand comes back down. So it's just a simple rise, hand comes back down. A fall rise, it goes down, but it stays up. Okay, and B. There was 3 rise falls. Got this one? So just do it twice. Do it twice with the MT, just the Tai Chi, and then we'll do it with the rise fall. So sure, glad to. There you are. Now let's do the same one with a rise fall. Sure, glad to. There you are. Again, I know that you probably have some friends or acquaintances who seem to use the rise fall all the time. They're just people like that. They can be very annoying. They can be very annoying. They can be very annoying. Okay, here's let's do 2A. 2A. Easy one, huh? Let's do it twice, both times with the rise fall. Ready? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can even do that with a longer fall. Oh, thank you so much. That's the melody And that's with the MT4 that goes along with that. Then here's B. Again, another one of these, you have a choice. Oh, this, you have rise, fall, and then there's the Canadian fall, rise at A. Right? Do it just with the Tai Chi. So, you're welcome. Where are you from, eh? You're welcome. Where are you from, eh? Where are you from, eh? So that's just falling. Where are you from, eh? That is kind of more of a statement. So, in fact, probably on that one, maybe even a better way to do it would be, you're welcome. Where are you from, eh? Where are you from, eh? Eh? With a rise, not just a fall rise, but you can do it with a fall rise. Now let's do it together with a fall rise. You're welcome. Where are you from? Eh? You're welcome. Where are you from? Eh? Okay, got that one? As you can see, this is, it looks easy, but I've been doing this for 20 years, and you saw me, that one, I kind of stumbled on that one myself. So this is hard work. It takes real concentration. And for me, it's a little relatively easy, but this is work. It'll take you a while to get this, so it really falls together for you. Next one, you got 2 rise falls. So I'll just do the Tai Chi. Japan, I'm a student here now. Let's do that again. Japan, I'm a student here now. Now let's do it with the rise fall. Japan, I'm a student here now. Oh, I'm so excited. All right. Now we got a rise fall, and you got a fall rise and then a rise fall. So Tai Chi first. Japan. Where in Japan? Japan? Where in Japan? Do it again. Japan? Where in Japan? Where in Japan? Nice big soccer ball. Right? Where in Japan? Japan? Where in Japan? And 4, let's do 4 and 5. Now we got, this has got a choice here. Again, another one of those where you can use a rise fall or a rise in the middle, like in the middle of a end of a phrase like this. So let's just do just the Tai Chi. So Sendai, about 2 hours, north of Tokyo by train. That's got quite a few syllables before the stress syllable. Do it again, center, right? Sendai, about 2 hours, north of Tokyo by train. Even for me to say that one that fast is tricky. Do it one more time. Sendai, about 2 hours, north of Tokyo by train. North of Tokyo by train. North of Tokyo by train. I'll just do it with the rise fall, and then a rise fall. Let's not use a rise fall. For the one in the middle, let's just use a rise. Then we use a rise fall at the end. So, ready? Sendai, about 2 hours, north of Tokyo by train. Do it again. Sendai, about 2 hours, north of Tokyo by train. That one in the middle is more of a often common when you're pausing, like in the middle of a sentence. That's kind of a rise to keep it going like that, just a simple rise. But you could use Sendai, about 2 hours, north of Tokyo by train. That's why I wore this NFL jersey to be able to do my rise falls. That's basically why I did that. Okay, 4B. Good one, okay. That's a really nice area. That's a really nice area. That's a really nice area. Okay, here's another one. You got a choice at the end here. For this one, let's use a fall rise. So let's do the Tai Chi first. It certainly is. It's becoming very crowded. Do it again. It certainly is, but it's becoming very crowded. Now let's do it with, now we got 2, let's do it with a fall rise, rise fall, fall rise. Ready? Here we go. It certainly is, but it's becoming very crowded. Do it again. It certainly is, but it's becoming very crowded. Now let's use a rise fall at the end instead of a fall rise. So fall rise fall, rise fall. It certainly is, but it's becoming very crowded. Either way. that last phrase could be, it certainly is, but it's becoming very crowded. Again, particularly with that crowded, just adds a little more energy to it or more seriousness maybe to it. Yeah, that's one thing. Fall rise often adds either more curiosity or more seriousness to it. Several ways it's used. Okay, here's B. Let's do this first time through. Let's just do it with the rise fall. So 3 rise falls. Let's do it that way first. Not do the Tai Chi. Just do it from the beginning. Ready? Here we go. So I've heard that. How long are you staying in Canada? I've heard that. How long are you staying in Canada? Again, somebody who's really enthusiastic, that's kind of what they're doing with their voice, right? You see it with their body almost comes up on that. I've heard that. How long are you staying in Canada? Right? Let's do it one more time with a fall rise at the end, right? I've heard that. How long are you staying in Canada? Again, normally on a how long question, that's typically is a fall on the end of it. But again, if you want to add a little bit of juice to it, a little more energy, a little more. In fact, this one with a fall rise, actually, it almost forces the person to respond to it, to more quickly or with more information or something like that. So fall rise is a really interesting hack, and you'll see we'll use it throughout the course. All right, here we go. Finally, 6A. Let's do it just with the Tai Chi. So permanently, I'm going to be working in Toronto. Permanently, I'm going to be working in Toronto. I was doing it with a rise fall. Permanently, I'm going to be working in Toronto. One more time. Permanently, I'm going to be working in Toronto. Actually, that should have an exclamation point at the end of the line. And we end up with a bit of Canadian at the end. So, well, welcome to Canada, eh? Is that with me? Here we go. Ready? Well, welcome to Canada, eh? Well, welcome to lesson 2, eh? So there you are. Now, before we finish, I want to show you one more thing here. This is called the haptic sidestep with the Tai Chi in it. And this is one that I'm just going to demonstrate it to you. You can practice it a bit, but we'll be doing it again. Because, again, just like with reading a book, in some of the haptic exercises, you're going to be moving your body left to right as you're speaking. It's almost as if your eyes in your body are scanning the words as you go in that fashion. So, for example, like this one, I'm not going to stand up to do this, but imagine I'm standing up, okay? So it'd be something like this. So you start off to your left. So you go A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F. Now we'll put the stress on E. A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F. Now D. A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F. Now C. A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F. Now B. A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F. And then A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F. I see that's difficult for me. A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F. Work on that one. Like later on, we'll extend the alphabet out. See, 1, 2, 3, about 3 more syllables. Again, what we're trying to do here is, as a native speaker, often a native speaker will jam in 8, maybe even 9 syllables in one rhythm group. And we'll give you practice doing that so you can do it, but even more importantly, so you get better at hearing kind of how people are packaging their speech. So, my friends, there you are. Again, if you have questions, as I said in the feedback session, email them to me, and I'll make sure in the feedback session that I answer those questions, or join us in the feedback session yourself. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this lesson as much as I have, and I will see you, or at least I will talk to you next Wednesday night. Keep in touch.